Hey viewers, I'm Cara, your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we're talking about spiritual materialism. This week's topic was suggested by a user named who said, "Is it hard for you not to lose yourself and your spirituality and all the stuff relating to it? Is a vow of poverty just another extreme, or is it credible? Is it easy for you to see through that side of life and appreciate or disregard a spiritual teacher/practitioner or peer accordingly?" This week's topic is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's always been one of my most dearly held beliefs about my path, that I should be able to do magic with nothing at all but my body and my mind. So materialism is something that I talk about a lot because if you've heard me talk about my tools and things in other videos, I don't have a lot of tools because I don't feel like I need them. I don't feel like I would use them. I have some things that I've accrued over time that I felt like I would eventually use, but a lot of things I just don't feel that I need. And especially living at college, I can't have a lot of things. So after a while, I have learned even more to do with less. But I have a video on my personal channel called Why I Don't Buy My Tools, where I talk about this a little bit more, and I tell the story of the woman who first told me never to buy my tools, and I never have really till this day. If I go out and find something and I buy it, it's generally candles, incense, oils, things that I need a lot of the time. But even then, I get a lot of candles as gifts and things like that, and I don't use them a lot because I'm so used to using so little that I forget that I have those material things that I can use, that I can help myself with for visualization and things like that. I just forget that I have them because I don't need them. But the first thing that I always tell people when they tell me that they're getting interested in Wicca specifically, people don't tend to come to me and say, "I'm interested in paganism," because they know I'm Wiccan, so they ask about that. So when people come to me, the first thing that I always say when they ask about where can I get this tool, where can I get that, is I tell them you don't need those things yet. I have always believed that you should be able to start your path and know what you're doing, basically, and know what you want to do with just your body and your mind. And then when you really have a solidified view of what you're doing and you understand it and you really know how to go about things, then you should worry about getting the material object to help you. It should never substitute for the power of your own being. But it does help a lot. It helps people to have a wand in their hand, to visualize energy coming in and out of. It helps people to have a cauldron. Cauldrons, though, I tend to use for really practical reasons, like for burning fire in. I really like petition magic, so I tend to burn paper a lot, so that's generally what I use that for. All of the tools that I use are the physical, practical tools. I don't tend to use the ones that are just for visualization. But anyway, I can't stress enough that the one thing that I always believe people should know as they're starting out and continue to realize as they move on in their path is that the tools that you have can be simple or they can be fancy if you have the money for that or the desire or the skill to make it yourself. They can be as simple or fancy as you want, but those things are to help you. They are not necessary for you to do anything, and you should always know that if you're out somewhere in the middle of the woods and you didn't bring any of that stuff with you, you should still be able to do whatever you want to do. The thing about power is that it comes from within us and it's always around us, and you can always draw it from nature, from the universe, from within yourself, from the deities that you worship. You can always get that. You don't need to have those things, but they're really fun and they do help. So with that being said, I just want to show you the stuff that I have here at school with me right now. Mo showed us her little box, and this is the box that I gave myself to carry all of my stuff to school in this year. It's bigger than Mo's box, of course, but I just wanted a little concealed place to keep my stuff, and I said, okay, whatever I'm going to bring, I gotta fit it in this box because then I can hide it right here on my windowsill, and no one will ever know. In here I have my box of crystals, and I just picked some of my favorites. I have a ton more. I have a little baggie of oils. I had a little thing of dried chamomile in here, but now it's by my refrigerator. This I just brought up the other week of more crystals that my mom just gave me, and the pieces for my pendulum. I have to make my new pendulum since I lost the last one. And I have my prayer beads in here, and some stones that I found on the beach from doing the beach cleanup that I want to use, and this, which has just been here I have spearmint growing in my window now, and I have a spider plant, and I have some stevia hanging, drying in my window, and that is a wreath of sage and lavender, my dream catcher from my friend. And then my mom got me this little table, which I brought recently, so now I do have a little bit more room, pardon my homework, now I do have a little bit more room to store things. So in here, that's a note just in case my roommate decided to be nosy. Anyway, so in here I have holy water, which is holy water from the Catholic Church, not rain or anything like that. Still using my old supplies, my little bell, which I really like for cleansing space, and I'm allowed to have it here. I can't burn sage here, but I can ring a bell. My oracle deck, which I used in a presentation the other day actually for class, and my little amethyst cluster for cleansing my pendulum when I finally get it together. This is the little bottle of water, I think it's just salt water, and where is it? And this thing of salt. Those are the two things that I used when I very first started my path. I put them in these little plastic bottles that I got from an art kit actually, and they have foam stoppers. So that's sea salt and some salt water. Those are the things that I used for my rituals and things way back when I started at like 13 years old, and I still keep them. And my spirit board, of course. So I didn't have this at school because I didn't have a place for it, because I only allowed myself that box and this did not fit. But now that I have this table with a very small drawer, I have decided to bring this, and especially also because I'm going to be making my new pendulum shortly. This is the altar that I have set up in honor of my cat, Mystery. You would never guess that, would you? At all. But I have this altar cloth, which is some spare fabric that my mom gave me, and she used the rest of it to make a curtain in my witchy room back at home. This is just a circular mirror candle holder base that I got at the dollar store. So I did buy this actually. I wanted to paint a pentacle on it to use it as my altar pentacle, but now I think when my mom makes some more for her Etsy, I'll just buy one from her. And this is the necklace that I made for my cat before she passed away when we were at the vet's office. This is just a jar of dried spearmint, and this is the card that the vet's office sent us after they heard that Mystery passed, and they all wrote little notes and signed it. The other thing that I would definitely add for Mystery is a little bowl of water right here, because I said I would always keep a bowl of water on my altar for her because she used to drink out of my altar bowl. The only bowls I have on campus are these plastic things, and I don't like those. So that would be the only thing I would add, and it really doesn't look like anything much at all. It's just representative of her, and it's what I like.
As for a vow of poverty, I do think that a vow of poverty is an extreme in the situation, but I also do think it's credible. For some people to have to first understand the idea that they can get by without things, a vow of poverty might be the extreme push that they need to really get it. And then afterwards they would be able to look back at their material things and not take them for granted, and know that they're lucky that they have them, and know that they don't need them, in a sense. So, no, I'm not going to give away my things. I like to have my things, like Mo said, but I don't think that a vow of poverty is entirely incredible either. It is an extreme of the situation, yes. I think it would be very extreme for me living in this society to do something like that, but I do think it has its credit. But that's all I have to say on the topic, so I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much for watching, and blessed be.